So, fairly recently, President Donald Trump's loyally apologist-in-chief, Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York, gave a press conference, and it was at a place called the Four Seasons. Not Four Seasons Hotel in Philadelphia, but rather a Four Seasons landscaping business. And it was located in between a crematorium and a sex shop, which sort of sums up a lot of maybe Rudy Giuliani's status in the world, shall we say. It was a typically mad, rambling affair, and I made some comment to someone about Four Seasons, and I was challenged to come up with a cocktail from that, and I thought about doing something playing off of the Four Seasons or Quattro Stagioni or whatever, because he's Italian American, but that wasn't quite working. So I went onto the internet, of course, and I found out he's from Brooklyn, and I thought, I can think of something here. And the inspiration was actually a dirty martini, the one with olives and olive brine in it. But I thought, no, let's make a dirty Brooklyn. I've made a Brooklyn before, it's one of my favorite drinks. Dirty Brooklyn doesn't seem to exist, and so I invented it as a result of this challenge. And it's quite easy to make. It's got a couple of variations compared to the regular Brooklyn, and there's a few different kinds of Brooklyn, but you'll see what it is. Most importantly, it's a whiskey drink, so that's going to go in first. I'm going to put in one, and actually when I say whiskey, I actually mean rye whiskey. I'm going to put in 1.5 ounces of rye whiskey, like so. And by the way, the music in the background, which I think is super appropriate, it's by The Clash, and it's called Rudy Can't Fail. Of course he can't. Second ingredient, now in a regular Brooklyn it would be dry vermouth, but I'm actually going to put a Cocchi Americano, which is an aromatized wine. It still counts as a dry vermouth, but it makes a play on Rudy Giuliani's Italian American heritage. And it takes the same amount as the whiskey, so 1.5 ounces of that, like so. And then 1/2 ounce, I'm going to use something called Cina. It would normally be, instead of this drink, it would be Amer Picon, which is kind of hard to get in America. You might want to use something like Ramazotti, sort of orangey Amaro from Italy. But as I said, 1/2 ounce of that, like so. And then the final alcohol ingredient, and again, a slight difference here. In a regular Brooklyn, it would be Luxardo Maraschino liqueur, but I'm actually going for something that's kind of similar, but I got a sort of cheaper thing, which I thought was kind of fitting for this. I'm just using some kirsch, some kirsch liqueur, which is cherry, of course. So it's similar, it gives a similar taste profile, and it's a 1/2 ounce of that, like so. We are just going to stir this up so it's nice and chilly, and I'm losing ice cubes, jumping ship, just like many people who would otherwise have voted for Trump. Thankfully they didn't all vote for him. And we are going to strain that straight into our glass, like so. And then, as I mentioned, in a dirty martini, it takes olives with olive brine. But I'm doing something quite different. I think this is a little saltier in some ways. Putting some cocktail onions in there. 2 cocktail onions with a little bit of the brine. The brine, of course, is part of the thing that makes it dirty, just like so. And let's see what we've got. Yum, but salty.